you never seen Free Willy?
I was too cool
When the
to
kids
watch that.
just in the Orca jets over
Again,
him,
it's the
like
generational
the
difference
moment.
here. It's the generational difference
I forgot there's
between you
15
and I.
years. Jesus.
I was too cool to watch no dumb, stinking Free Willy. I was doing my own thing, almost adult stuff, you know. And you were doing whatever, watching silly
I was watching
movies.
Free Willy. Oh, I guess we're going.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Building. Feeling good, you know, got a little crown peach in me.
You just want more cake.
You're gonna find out. I don't know a lot about most everything. G money, right there in the middle.
Cake. Here we go.
All right. Once again, we begin with laughter because
Always.
that's what the show's about. Money and cakes.
Yeah.
Seriously lighthearted.
Seriously, lighthearted.
Taking a lighthearted look at life. Whatever crosses our feed
Yeah.
happens in the world.
Yeah.
I asked Gary, or Money, sorry, I don't know who Gary is.
Stranger.
You know, what's
Gary,
the point?
Money.
Like, what's the point of what we do here? What is
Very
the
money,
point?
Loose change, you know?
What's the point? What's the point? What
The
is
point
what
is
is the,
just to bring joy to people's lives.
There you go.
You know, while we're miserable the rest of our lives outside of this podcast, we at least use this platform to spread joy, happiness, good times, laughter.
Laughter. Laughter. Laughter.
Laughter is good. It's good for the soul. I think you burn calories when you laugh.
Yeah, we talked about it. It's good for the soul, good for the heart. Good,
Exactly.
helps relieve stress.
Yeah. Which is funny, too, because
This is good chemicals.
I watched a video, and it was, I need to stay off the talk. Now you see how I call it the talk now.
The talk.
But it was a guy, and he was kind of like not making fun, but he was a video about like he was reading like a thing, and all these girls were like, "Oh, you know, we want a guy that's different. You know, we don't. All these guys are just the same." And then he's literally going through profiles, like dating profiles, and every one of them was like, "We want a guy that's funny. We want a guy that can make us laugh. We want this." I mean, but it was all geared towards laughter.
Oh, okay.
All geared
I was
towards
going to say,
laughter.
so they wanted the same guy.
No. They want the same type of guy, but
Got
they
it.
wanted guys to be different. That's a lot of pressure. 'Cause not everyone's funny. I think some people naturally can make people, like, laugh. Like, I don't think I'm funny. I think I have funny moments.
I'd agree. I'm the same way.
Right? See, exactly. It's like, there's nothing, well, and I've told you in the past, like, I wanted, like, when I went into, I'm going to say a little something. When I went into drama in high school, I went in wanting to be a stand-up comic. Like, that's what I genuinely wanted. I wanted to break my fear and be able to get on stage and tell jokes. And then I realized I'm not funny. I just have funny moments. Like I was good when it came to like improv, like random improv. And I'm gonna toot my own horn for a second. I did write one of the best monologues ever to not be recorded because this was in the 90s and no cell phones had like, I don't even know if cell phones had cameras then.
No.
They didn't. But it was like one of the funniest monologues. Like I remember it. It was so funny that I remember it not only from my like point of view, but like the side point of view. Like it was so good that I made up other point of views and was like, this is the best monologue ever. And I don't remember any of it. But I wanted to be a stand-up comic, and I was like, I want to make people laugh. Like that's a talent.
Do you think you could recapture it? Do you think you ever bring it back, or was it just this inspired thing that you didn't write it down?
Oh, well, it was about a car. It was a day in the life of a car salesman.
Okay.
Because at the time too, I didn't want to be a car salesman. I think they were like making like for.
I want to be
Weirdly
a
enough,
comedian
I thought they were like
or a car salesman.
Well, I think in my mind, like back in the day, I thought they were just making bank. They were like, oh, they're rolling in the dough. I didn't realize like they're actually just borrowing the cars. I thought they owned them. But I realized that they get to borrow the cars, bring them back, don't add too many miles. Anyways, but I wanted to be a comedian, like hardcore. But then I was just like, I'm just not that funny. Just not that funny.
I think these people would disagree. I think you get laughs.
I get laughs, but those are my moments.
Yeah. Well, what do you think a comedic act is? It's a moment after moment strung together because they work at it.
True, but they are putting the moments together. It's like we used to go to before, like, you know, all this stuff happened. But we used to go to watch stand up like on Friday nights and be comedian after comedian after comedian. And part of me was like, man, I should do that. But then you watch one just bomb and you're like, oh, that hurts. Because half of the time we're the ones like, ooh, he needs to go.
Yeah, but you know, at the same time, I'm like, kudos to him.
True.
You know, or props, as
True.
the kids say, for getting up there and doing that.
Right.
But I mean, I know what you're talking about. That's what came to mind. It's like they're standing up there with their note cards,
Right.
trying jokes. And in fact, one of those guys actually said he took a comedy class, a how to be a
Right.
comedian class. And I know where that's at because I went to that school. It was like a acting school.
Okay.
And they have a variety of different types of classes. One of them was how to do stand-up.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't do that. But it's like a 4-week class. They probably have like 3 or 4 in the series.
Okay.
Tells you probably how to put together your bit. You know, they probably can't make you funny, but they can help you figure out
I'm telling you.
the essence of a joke.
Right.
You know, because there's you know, there's a setup, right? And there's something,
Right.
there's a completion. I don't know what they call it.
I'm this close to like wanting to try again.
Go for it.
Yeah.
You do it, I'll do it.
Yeah. That's not that's not convincing enough. I need more than that.
How about this?
I don't know.
Before you do it there, we can get the gang together here, and you can pretend to
I
do
think
it.
they're biased. I think they'll laugh to be like, oh.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, he's going to be like, oh, God, he's never going to try it. I think, and that's the other thing. I don't want them to laugh and then make me feel like I'm like, I am funny. And then go up in front of people and just tank. I think one good tanking, I won't be like, oh, I'll take that as constructive criticism. I'm going to go cry. I'm going to go, like, be in the car just like, I'm ready to go home. Like, this was a mistake. And then I drove, too. So I don't know if I'm ready for that life. I mean,
Dude, look,
the
you
balls.
You gotta
That's
risk
a lot of
failure.
courage.
You ain't gonna make it.
Look,
You gotta risk the failure. You're
look,
gonna fail. You think any
I'm-
comedian hasn't bombed? They've all bombed, dude.
Right.
Watch
Right.
The Marvelous Miss Maisel for inspiration.
You did tell me about
Seen it?
that.
Seen the Marvelous Miss Maisel?
Okay.
Sacrilege. Anyway, it's on Amazon. Watch it. It's funny.
So maybe I'll, how about this? I do like a challenge. And if I feel more comfortable if it's not me doing it by myself. So if you're willing to do it, then we could like tag team. What if we just did a tag team? That sounds bad. What if we did a tag team, like comedy, like sketch or something? Because we're, you know, the odds are everyone's going to know us both. That way, if we like tank, I don't tank alone. That makes me feel a lot better. You know what I mean?
I'll think about it. You know what I mean? It's like,
I am tempted, like, 'cause, you know, like I said, if I can condense my funny moments, I think I can pull it off. Now, I'm not trying to be like Martin Lawrence or anyone in their heyday. I just want to, like, I think energy wise, I would feel the energy. If I got a couple laughs early, I think I can keep it going.
yeah.
But I'm a bad joke teller. So that makes me feel like I can't.
It's a skill.
Like, I know, but it makes me feel like even if I like remember my joke or like my setup, I'm not gonna like something's gonna happen where I'm like gonna practice and be spot on. And as soon as those lights and everything hit the stage and like seeing all the people just staring.
But here's the
it's
thing,
over.
though. You won't see the people. You won't really see them, really.
But aren't they naked? Is that what you're supposed to do?
What I'm saying is, as a person who's done a good amount of public speaking, you see them, but you don't really see them
True.
unless you try to and you focus on them. Because, you know, comedians will do that. They'll pick
Right.
out a few people. But other than that, it's just like there's people.
True.
It's an ocean of people. And even when I'm done public speaking in groups of 60, 100 more, you know, it's like I pick people out to look. I'm talking to you now
right.
because I'm presenting. I'm making a personal connection now.
True.
Moved on here, you know, and then in the back, you know, and you do work the crowd. Same with comedy, you know. But I swear it's like the people. But I mean, everybody's different.
Right.
Everybody's different. I can stand up in front of people and talk. It's
a
just
skill.
something I'm able to naturally do, and everybody can develop it a little bit further and better. But anyway, You know what? You should sign up for that class, the 4-week.
Is it free?
No, but it's not that expensive.
Well, it's not that expensive.
$160 or something.
Yeah, $120
$40 a class.
Oh, it's broken now.
What would you invest to realize your dream, Gary? G Money.
Well,
What would you invest? Huh?
this is like an old.
You only got
dream.
one shot.
Don't Eminem me. All right. Okay. $160. That's not bad. He said 4 sessions.
I think it's 4.
3, 4.
And then there might be like, level 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is there a test at the end?
No, but you might
Not
have
a
to
great
stand
tester.
up.
I'm not a great tester.
When I did the acting ones, you had to stand up and act. And you had to kind of create some characters and do it in front of people.
Okay, when I did the monologue in high school, it was like in front of like 200 students, my peers, 16, 17
very
year
good.
olds. Very judgmental,
Absolutely. The
16,
worst.
17 year olds.
The worst.
Killed it though.
Good.
Killed it.
So you got talent. Hey, you know what? There's a guy, and I don't know his name, but he does a bit where he's been kind of canceled, but he's still going. He was a musician for a long time.
Okay.
Got tired of touring, was tired of it, and thought, you know what, I'm going to do something different. So he said, I'm going to become a comedian. He's older than you. He became a comedian. Now he's doing it, and he's on shows. He's successful-ish, I guess.
You don't know his name?
No, he's British. I only just found him out. Found out about him. But anyway, you know,
It's never too late.
you and I have a good rapport. We make each other laugh, and some others laugh. And I remember when I kind of realized that was like when we kind of reconnected down at Dubtown, and I was actually saying things, and you were laughing, and I was like, he thinks I'm funny.
Right.
I was just like, wow, am I funny? I don't know. Just to you.
At least to me, that's all that matters.
All right, we got that. He's going to take comedy class, and he's going to do stand-up either here or you're going to just go up on the open mic.
That
mic
could
night.
be an episode of just me doing an actual stand-up routine. What the hell is that for? See, I'm already panicking.
What's with the airline food?
He laughed before I even got it all out. That hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts. That's what I'm talking about, man. I can't work under this stress. I'm sweating now.
Tell me about this shirt you're wearing there, bud. That's fun.
Thank you for changing the subject. You hurt my feelings and everything. So I'm taking it back to one of my. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite movies, but it was one of those movies as a kid. You're like, this movie was awesome. This is I don't know if they can see it, but this is a little tribute to The Land Before Time, which probably no one knew how big this franchise was going to be, which I think I don't know, I'm embellishing, but it's probably like 15 to 20 movies deep. But I think now, especially anyone our age or a little bit older, probably know The Land Before Time. There's been so many movies, but, you got Littlefoot, you got Petrie, you got Ducky, you got Sarah, you got Spike. No one can see it, but,
I do remember that.
a little something different.
You got a T-Rex on your shoulder.
There's a T-Rex?
Uh-huh. They're going to pop it out.
Because that's what they were running from the whole movie. The original. Original. So, yeah.
Yeah, I watched that, and I do remember it, but I was never into it. I think there's, just this slight age difference between you and I is like...
Slight?
Slight. I mean...
Okay, fair enough.
Internet, who's older? Him or me? Well, they know I am because you laughed.
Well, and I'm, making every point to, remind people that you're older, but if they're basing it on looks, unfortunately, I'm the senior. I should have said, not like senior citizen, but it just sucks.
Well, I'm going to shout out our friend Amanda, who is not here today. She normally helps us do this whole thing.
Loyal fan.
Helps us get our drinks and supports us and laughs a lot.
She does.
She's in Hawaii on the beach or swimming in the ocean.
I hope so.
Enjoying stuff.
Piggybacking off of those sea turtles, which you probably shouldn't do because that's...
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to touch them.
Yes, you're right. Which you shouldn't touch anything in the sea that is not yours, which is everything.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Because you shouldn't be in the sea.
Well, I went to Hawaii.
Oh, you even said it right. Look at
Yeah,
you.
I mean, whatever, I went there for my friend's wedding way back when in October, and it was super. It was super great. They have it was in Maui, and they have Lahaina. They have a big parade. If y'all ever been there, they have this massive Halloween party.
Okay.
the town like triples in size during that because everybody goes there. They parade down the street, and you dress up and you go down. And you get some. It's fun.
Okay.
And I went into the ocean, and I haven't really swam in the Pacific ever. Even here, it's like I've snorkeled in the Puget Sound, but I was out there. It was somebody we were with was out there too, and we're swimming around, and I saw the water, dude. I was just like, how's that over there?
Exactly.
I was like, I turned around, I started swimming back. I had my snorkel on, and I'm just like trying to mash back to shore.
Right.
Water's getting up in my snorkel. I'm like breathing it in.
Right.
And I'm like, I almost drowned a little bit. I was like, you better just relax because you're not going to get back to shore and get away from this predator that's in the water.
What was it?
And I calmed down. I ate a turtle. Because that guy later was like, hey, did you see the turtles I was swimming with over there? And I was like, oh, those are turtles? Man, I thought it was a shark.
Yeah, but if you see it from a distance, you're just like, all you see is like the outline. You know how I feel about the ocean.
How do you feel about the ocean?
I don't get in it. One, this is my thing. I'm black. Mm-hmm. look, I'm black. Mm-hmm. What do killer whales like to eat? Seals.
Depends which pod they are.
On the average,
Seals.
Seals.
Salmon and
I
seals.
don't want to be recognized as the black guy that's just swimming along, having a good time, doing my thing. I'm like, and then this one killer whale is like, ooh,
snack time.
That's a good sized one. Like, oh, was he 225? Because then you see videos of them like slapping them out of the water. I don't want to be that one that is like, I'm going to play with it before I kill it. Because killer whales, like, they're the only things that great whites are like, these guys don't play by the rules. I'm going to get out of their way. Like, they have no other species in the water than them. No one. Like, we were all like, oh, the movie Jaws. No, the movie Orca. Because I've seen those videos, people are out on their little canoes or paddle boards or whatever, and then you'll see, like, two orcas go underneath them. And they're, like, so calm, like, oh, this is so majestic. We live in the Northwest. We have pods that come through our waters all the way up to Alaska.
But
Takes one.
From a technical perspective, most of these ones here in the Puget Sound eat salmon. They don't eat seals.
You know why? Ain't no black people in the water up here. One, it's cold. Two, they're wearing like a fluorescent life jacket to try to stand out.
Oh, I was going to say, like, wear a pink Speedo, like pink
and then
wetsuit.
I'll be the fancy seal. I'll be the one that's wearing like a bow tie. He's like, oh, he used to be a circus seal. No.
I always think that, too, because I heard that. And, I always see these people in these dark swimsuits, and I'm just like, what do you call that? The wetsuit, dry suit. I'm like, gonna get eaten.
They're super smart. But I don't want to test their intelligence on being able to, because I don't know if if they can smell me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, I'm in the water. I don't know what they're sensing. I don't know if it's like how I move and they're like, like seals don't normally move like that. Let me just go closer and check it out. Because that's what they'll do. They'll get close to you and be like, what is this?
How deep in the ocean are you?
I'm too deep, apparently.
When I'm thinking about swimming in the ocean, I'm not too far offshore, bud.
Oh, I'm not even dipping my feet in that bad boy.
But the killer whales who eat seals, they will ride the waves in and grab them off the shore and then come back out.
Exactly.
But those aren't in the Puget Sound.
Those are willing to come out of the water. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, a seal's like, look, I can breathe. I'm going to go up on shore. And that killer whale just rides up and is like, nah, player, and then scoots his way back. No. And have you ever seen, how, like, the great whites outside of, like, Africa, or certain parts of Africa, they'll jump out of the water. And they're always called, like, there, and I think either New Zealand or Australia. There's only, like, those two places where they're actually breach water, like, often. Killer whales can do that. And I saw this the other day, but it's like 16 feet. So even if I can swim fast and breach myself, he's coming up behind me like, So if you're willing to breach 16 feet and then scoot out of the water on a beach to take me down, you win.
All right. So scratch the beach and ocean getaway with
I'm just saying.
G money.
I'm just saying.
Not gonna do that.
I went on a Alaska cruise. And I remember the guy was like, "Hey, you guys want some good fishing?" We're like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's gonna be like 2 hours out." I'm like, "Ain't got nothing to do today. We're all hungover. We're trying to like recover. Let's go deep." We go deep, and he's just like, "Hey, oh, there's gonna be some good salmon fishing today." We're like, "Why?" He's like, "Cause there's an orca out there fishing, and you see this bad boy, like you see salmon just jumping out of the water, and he's just smiling like you ain't going nowhere. Like he's breaching them." Chasing them around in our boat. I mean, there's boats everywhere, and he's chasing them around boats. He wasn't even eating. He was practicing.
All right, you're not gonna be. You won't find money in the ocean.
Nope. If I'm in the ocean, there's some problems. There's some problems.
Okay.
Nope. And it's not that I can't swim, because I can't swim. But that's not why I'm not in the ocean. That's part of it. That's not the main reason. The main reason is the fear. The can't swim is the byproduct of the fear.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be going in the ocean if you can't swim.
Right?
I don't want you on a boat if you can't swim.
I was on the cruise ship and I was still scared. One gust of wind and I get blown over. I was like, no.
I'm tiny. You think you're like a leaf or something.
I'm just saying.
You're going to get blown over. It's not going to happen, dude.
It just takes that one good
Did you ever
Marilyn Monroe gust.
Did you ever go to the edge?
No, because you know.
You never went to, sorry, heights. Never went to the edge.
I'm scared of heights. Like, because cruise ships, I used to work for a cruise line. It's not a tiny ship. Like, it's.
Well, you fall off.
It's
yeah,
like
you're done.
20 stories up from the top deck. You're done. You can just die on impact of just falling off that boat.
Not going to do a triple gainer?
No, that's not going to happen. I'm not trained to do a triple gainer. Sorry, I took you down the rabbit hole of.
Yeah. Well, I don't get in the water that much. I mean, I kayak, you know what I mean? But I'm really not a big fan of like dropping in the deep water because, I don't know what's down there. I mean, I do know what's down there. I just don't know if it's around me.
Exactly.
I'm not going to take the chance.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's like, I don't want to go inside their house and find out like they're not happy with me visiting. That's all I'm saying. Like,
just orcas?
I'm more worried about orcas than I am great whites. Like everyone's like, oh, sharks attack. No, it's orcas. That's who you need to be worried about. And jellyfish.
Yeah, but you don't hear about orca attacks. You hear about shark attacks.
Because that person didn't make it back to shore to tell you about their attack. They got batted up in the air like a seal, and now they're dead.
Okay.
And then the story becomes, oh, they were lost at sea. They weren't lost. They weren't Free and Willy. No. Good movie, though.
I never watched it.
How have you never seen Free Willy?
I was too cool
When the
to
kids
watch
just
that.
in the orca jets over.
Again, it's the
like
generational
the
difference
moment.
here. It's the generational difference
I forgot there's
between you
15
and I.
years. Jesus.
I was too cool to watch no dumb, stinking Free Willy. I was doing my own thing. Almost adult stuff. You know? And you were doing whatever. Watching silly
I was watching
movies.
Free Willy. But he was powering up Willie, like, Willie, jump. Willie's like, oh.
But are you excited he got freed or like put back in the pen? Because I don't want him eating me.
Exactly. I'm like, he's on the prowl now. Willie has been confined for years. He's pissed off. He's like, I'm about to wreak havoc. And then you come out with Orca 2 right after that.
Orca 2.
Willie on the prowl.
Orcnado.
See, yeah, Sharknado. Psh, whatever. Now you do a tornado with orcas in it. I'm not even gonna see that in the theater. I'm too scared.
Have you ever been attacked by an animal at all?
Yes,
What?
a raccoon.
Okay.
But it was my own fault.
Of course.
It was a mama,
Oh, yeah.
and she was with her babies.
Okay.
And like me and my brother were like, "Oh, let's see how close we can get." And then she turned, and was like she kept like letting us know, like, "Look, I'm with my babies, you know. Yeah, back up." And we just kept getting closer. And then finally, she was just like, "That's it." And she ran at us. We scared. Raccoons are crazy.
But did you get injured?
No. I used to run like the wind before my
Oh,
knees
that's right.
decided they don't want to work no more.
Nah, man.
It was like the Flash.
Who's that?
At least that one time I was.
Is that from the Avengers?
No, this is.
I'm
Actually,
just kidding. I know who the Flash is. I know who the Flash is.
you in bed. No. You know that was good. You know
That was good. That was good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy, I got attacked by a dog.
like a see.
Dog.
I know that.
Doberman Pinscher.
A Doberman too. One of my favorite dogs. I know that.
A full-grown one, not like a little teeny one.
Right.
And I was sitting there on the couch, and this dog was there, and his face was in mine, and I barked at him.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, I learned. Me and my nose.
Yep. Yep.
I had a date the next day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've actually.
Still got laid.
I guess it worked out.
That's right.
Were you barking at her too?
Rabies.
Actually, I got bit in my nose not too long ago. Maybe about a year ago from a dog that I was pretty familiar with.
Yeah.
But just got in his face. He was in a protective state. Just boop. And I couldn't be mad at him because I'm like in his face. I'm in his space. But just let you know, like, you got to be aware of your surroundings, especially with animals, you know? And you can't blame them for being animals and doing what they do.
Of course,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So, except for orcas. I'm telling you right now, man, I don't have a personal vendetta against orcas. I'm just scared.
When I was snorkeling, I chased crabs.
What?
I would go down, go down in the water, and then go towards the sandy bottom.
So did you just take off your shorts in the
And the
ocean? I got a couple today. There it is.
there it is. Make this more lively. Mm-hmm. And when you come down, they rear up, put their little claws up,
yeah,
so you
they're
see
like-
it coming.
Right.
And then what I actually saw was a video take off. Like they wind up and then like propellers and they take off. And they
You serious?
just swim through the water chasing you.
I don't want a bunch of crabs chasing me in the water. See, that's what I'm saying.
I was like 12 years old, unsupervised, snorkeling in the Puget Sound. My dad, my uncle, my brother were out fishing on a boat. Had no right to be in that water.
right?
You know what I mean? That easily could have been death.
Respect the sea.
Yeah.
Respect
But, I
the sea.
was kayaking out there, and I could see fish swimming underneath me, scaring me, and I was trying to get to the shore. And again, panicking.
Right.
And I wasn't getting very close because the tide's going in or out and it's pulling you, and you're getting caught in current. But I got there. But I was just like, that's the old days. Just unsupervised, doing could have killed me.
See, that reminds me of like how my grandfather taught us how to crab, which was the most.
Just pull down your pants.
It felt like it. It was pretty much like we weren't even like in deep water. It's just like the tide had went out, and you have like the seaweed and stuff. And he's like, just stick your feet under the seaweed, and if you get bit or pinched, there's a crab. I'm like, why? That doesn't seem like the most conventional way. I'm like, there's got to be another way.
No, you drop a pot with bait in it, and you go away, and you
Not
come
when-
back, you drink a beer, come back, pull it up, and you
Not
got
when
crabs in there.
Yeah, but apparently to him, like not when you're trying to catch him with your toes. So we're
Dude,
in
he was
the water.
punking you so hard.
He punked us all. I tell you that right now,
He was
because we're
just
in the water, like
punking you.
sticking our toes. And I mean, we
Did
caught
you
some
ever
crab.
get? You got some crabs?
We caught some crabs, but it was the whole like you had to test them. You like piss them off, they'll pinch you, and you're like, oh, there's a crab, and you grabbed it. I love
Crazy.
my grandfather, but he had to just doing some crazy things, some crazy things.
All
Crazy
right.
things.
Well, what else is new, man? Anything else going on here?
Really?
I mean, I saw the Perseids. Did you see the Perseids meteor shower?
The Perseus? No, I missed
You see
that.
that? Oh, I saw that was going on. Yeah, I was sitting on my friend's deck, and they were
Really?
thought I saw a UFO, and I think I did. But then the Perseids were flying too. But yeah, meteor shower is pretty fun. That's happening this week. Can't really make
That's pretty
anything funny
dope.
about that. But
No,
you know,
that's
it's cool.
pretty dope, though.
Cool. Yeah, got to keep your eyes to the sky, man. See these universal phenomenon.
Right?
Enjoy it.
That's pretty cool. Actually, I wish I would have knew about that.
Yeah.
Because often, I look up in the sky, see what's going on, especially at night. I don't see nothing.
Nothing.
Which kind of makes me wish, like, when you go on, like, camping trips and stuff like that, you don't have all the city lights and you can actually see the stars and stuff. That's awesome. But it also reminds me, like, when you're in the city and you can't see all that, there's so much going on you don't know.
There is a lot out there, but then there's not much.
X-Files.
I saw UFO though. I really did, and I
Probably
think
did.
they were there observing the Perseids because they were not flying the same way, and it changed directions, and they did not come down.
And we've talked about this before. Like,
Yeah.
why would they? You know what I mean? Because we're always going to assume, like, if they're able to fly to our planet and say hi, that means they're so much more advanced than us. Why would they even want to? They'd be like, oh, look at those dummies down there. Still doing the same old dummy did last year.
Yeah, like you're not ready.
What if
You're
they're
not
like
ready?
orcas from a different planet? Just flying around on a sea spaceship.
Could be.
So now I'm freaked out.
Yeah.
Like I said, it takes me back to that episode of South Park.
Don't go to space. Don't go in the ocean. Stay on land.
Feeling good? You know, got a little crown picture of me.
You just want more cake.
You're gonna find out. I don't know a lot about most everything. G Money, right there in the middle.
Do we have a beer at all?
Cakes.
I didn't get
Okay.